Before this pistol came out, concealed carry looked very different. Capacity meant size, and small meant compromise. This is the original P365, and today we're talking about why it changed the entire carry market. First thing we're going to do is make sure this pistol is clear, all good to go, nothing around here. Just going to keep the empty mag here just for fun. So this is the original P365, and this is a true micro compact. It's not a slimmed down version of a larger pistol at the time, anyway. It's not a shortened duty pistol. It's a pistol designed from the ground up at the time, and it was designed to be small, light, and high capacity. And that combination really did not exist before this pistol. I mean, sure, there were smaller, uh, some subcompact of designs. They didn't hold as many rounds and they weren't as comfortable to shoot or carry. But if you look at the specs, being a 9mm, the barrel length on this is 3.1 inches. The capacity in your standard magazines is 10 plus 1. This gets to that sweet spot of width at 1 inch. The weight unloaded for this is only 17.8 ounces. You have your standard frame. It's made of polymer, and it has the modular grip system. So you can pop out this it's a FCU, fire control unit, if I'm saying that correctly. And you pop it out, you can put it into a larger grip, different color grip, like I've done here, or put a different slide on this if you want the XL slide or a macro slide or macro X comp, X macro comp, whatever. There's a lot of different varieties that have come out since this pistol hit the market. But what SIG Sauer did was they saw a gap. People wanted something just that was genuinely easy to carry, but they didn't want to give up that capacity, and they definitely didn't want to give up the shootability. So SIG realized that, and they didn't just take a larger pistol and say we're going to shrink it, cut the barrel, cut the grip. They redesigned the magazines to fit kind of a quasi double stack, right? They designed this whole geometry and the grip angle. That was required in order to make this pistol, and that is what made this possible. So what this did better than anything before it was a double stack style capacity in a micro frame, and then which translated to giving you excellent concealability. You have some serious sights on these right out of the box, and it gives you that familiar striker fired manual of arms. This particular P365 has the safety on it and also has the flat trigger. If you saw, we had the P365 Rose Edition, which had the curved trigger. I don't really have a preference. I shoot them both. When I say both, I mean the P365 models with the curved or with the flat trigger. They both have the same take up, same break, and same tactile and audible trigger. So I don't know. I mean, some people prefer one over the other. Personally, whatever you like is great. I don't have a preference. This pistol came out. It didn't just join a market to compete. It really did force everybody else in the market, all the other different brands, to respond, and the entire market shifted, because after this pistol came out, shortly after that, the Springfield Hellcat line came out and several others, all trying to either improve this design, copy this design. The time this came out, the Shield was the big carry pistol. It was nice and thin. In my opinion, the Shield 9 was a little bit top heavy. I don't think it shoots as good as the P360 365 line for me. I enjoy the P365 much better. Like I said, you could put 12 rounds in it. You could take a look at the M&P Shield 9 video, and it just didn't hold as many rounds as the P365. So you get a huge bump up with the capacity at that point, and it it has a few compromises. And where you'll see the compromises is it does have to have the shorter grip for easier concealed carry. So for larger hands, again, this is my two finger rule here. The pinky can hang off, but when I have the uh, the grip extension on the magazine, it fits fine. And this is probably very similar the way I carry it to the length of a P365 XL. I mean, it's probably the same, except the 365 XL magazine will sit flush as opposed to having this little thing there. But let me see if I have a. Oh, I do actually. So this is your standard base plate. Actually, this is not a standard base plate. This is a, what brand is that? The letter G, and I am drawing a blank. But this gets a little bit of a lip. This is a little bit longer, and I could still kind of get my pinky on there if I wanted some extra control. So the trade-offs, you're going to get a little sharper recoil on this than you would in, let's say, at the time, I guess, the P320 compact, or some of the, even a little snappier, I feel, than the Glock 26. But the Glock 26 is a chunkier gun, and it has a little bit more weight to it. The smaller sight radius for some shooters does make a difference. For me, not something I'm too worried about on a carry gun. Most of the time, you're going to be kind of in a get off me situation. So looking down the sights, using an optic, I don't know how realistic that is. Trade offs matter, really do depend on how and why you want to carry. Now, for me, what brand is this, by the way? I don't even know anymore. Let's see. Oh, this is a DeSantis. Look at that. So I tend to carry my P365 in this nifty little appendix rig. I tend to carry this particular pistol with an extra magazine. Not because I plan on needing all of that extra ammo, but in my opinion, if something happens to my empty magazine and it gets jammed and I need to reload, I'm going to drop this magazine and I'm going to reload a new one. I'm not going to spend time trying to clear this one out and do all this stuff while I'm holding this other magazine. So that's how I run my manual of arms. But I like this DeSantis a lot. It's very comfortable. Because I have a safety on this version of my P365, I'm not concerned about carrying it in a soft nylon like some people would. You're not getting to the trigger. It covers the trigger comfortably. It sits low. This just kind of molds to you. I very much enjoy the DeSantis holsters. This is actually fairly old, and it's held up very nicely. So that's kind of my summertime setup that I use. But if you took the P365 and you just thought of, let's say, okay, what is the most compatible Glock version? Would probably be the 43 or the 43X. But if I was to put this next to a Glock 43, the P365, um, I think holds a very similar footprint to the standard 43, but the 43X does offer a fuller grip, but I think it does. You can check out that video. I think it gives you a little bit less concealability. Now there's a P365X macro. Check out that video also. It holds up to 17 rounds. It has the kind of the Picatinny rail on the front, but the slide is basically an XL slide. They do make the comp versions. You can check out my video. I don't have the comp version. I have the standard X macro. So who does the P365 make sense for? Well, number one, concealment is your top priority, right? If you want the smallest possible pistol, this is your choice. If you appreciate how this platform kind of started everything, the original P365 just makes perfect sense. I mean, it's not outdated and it's focused on doing what needs to be done. I mean, I have a hoe grip on mine because this is very narrow, and my pistols, if they're too narrow, tend to go left or right. So, and I've just become accustomed to these hoe grips. I have them on a lot of my firearms. I'm not sponsored by Hogue at all, but I find them to be they're durable, they last. Um, I prefer a rubber grip texture as opposed to the sandpaper style. These up against your body can cause you to sweat, but that doesn't bother me too much. Generally, I have a t-shirt or something on in between that, so it doesn't really bother me when it's up against my skin at all. But to kind of sum this up, um, we all know trends come and go, but some designs they change the rules, and this one did. The SIG P365, the OG, Clockaholic 76. Talk to you soon.